Hello, hello. My name is Patty, the Dazzling Diva. I am a part-time reseller on sites such as Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, and Etsy. And what I have for you today are my sales from all these platforms for the week of June the 16th. So if you want to know what's selling for me during the summer slowdown, make sure to go ahead and stay tuned. Okay, so this video is not going to be very long. I didn't have a lot of sales from 16th to the 22nd, but I do have a tip that I want to give for something that happened to me, learn from my mistake, that I want to give for people who have, if you're just starting reselling and thinking about it, or you've been doing it for a little bit, just something to think about. So this is why I love to cross list, especially to Etsy. This is a coloring book that I had on other platforms for a while. It didn't sell. Put it on Etsy. It sold in a couple of months. It sold for $17.09. It's a vintage coloring book, and I think it was in a bin for like 25 cents, so I didn't pay a lot for it. Then we have this cute little owl that I sold, and the buyer requested that I send this out another way. One of the things that I don't like about Mercari is you can only specify one way, so I had to go in and change it to go out to UPS. FedEx is the last resort, and they went ahead and purchased. And I just had to have a revision request on eBay because I sent out an item to my buyer, but it took I sent it within a couple of days, but it took a month to get to them. So the buyer actually left me neutral feedback, but the way that they worded the feedback, it made it seem like I was late in sending it. I was like, the item is great, but I just got it a month late, and I was like, well, I was requested a revision because I'm like, it makes it seem like I sent it out late, and I didn't. I can't help that the post office took a month, so I gave them a few days to revise it. When they didn't, I went ahead and replied to their feedback, and then they went in and did change it from neutral to positive, saying that I sent it out, but the post office was late. So, but this buyer did purchase this for $9. Next, we have No Boundary. I do not buy this, but it came to me in a mystery lot, and it was new with tags. So I went ahead and listed it, and so it sold for $7.50. Then we have these cute little Winnie the Pooh books. I don't know if I picked them all up at the same time, if I've been picking them up here and there. As you can see, some of the pages were ripped. I just went ahead and noted it, and someone did purchase for $6.75. Then we have these Crocs. I love to pick up Crocs. They always sell well. I was wondering why these was taking so long to sell, and I somehow did not have them listed. So once I listed them, they sold within a couple months of me listing them. And of course, since it's warm weather out. I've talked about this in other videos about making sure your inventory is listed. Again, just like I just said, I had a whole bin of hats that somehow were not listed. I know I listed them. They must have fallen off eBay, because this hat sold within a couple of days of me listing it. But it came to me in a mystery lot, or I may have picked this up at a regular Goodwill when I was out and about. But it sold for $27, and the Crocs, if I didn't say, sold for $17.55. Next, this is a skirt. I hardly ever sell skirts, but this skirt sold, and it was a heavy skirt too, so I don't know if they realize this, or maybe if they're somewhere that's still a little cool, or they're like me and their office is freezing, I don't know. But it is a newer tag, NYCC, New York and Company, and it sold for $15.15. When you hear those weird amounts, it's because I'm sending out a bulk offer to watchers, usually like 15-16% off. This right here is where the lesson comes in. I knew that I had this license plate, but the problem is that I have my license plate in a license plates and like 10 signs and all that are in a different spot. I have them all in the same spot. Well, when I purchased this, I had everything categorized by where I got it from, because it used to be an Amazon return store. And so I would put everything that I got from the Amazon return store in a banker's box together so that I would know where it's easier to keep up with, how much it costs, all that kind of stuff. So my number one advice would be to get yourself a good inventory system and to label everything. I don't care if it's just 2 or 3 boxes. Make sure they are labeled. Make sure that it is either, I don't do spreadsheets. I just use the SKU that's in eBay and the SKU that's in Vendoo. Vendoo is how I keep up with what I'm selling. But, even if you're a small seller, you don't have a lot of boxes. Like right now, you're going to remember where everything is. But as your business grows and as you get a different inventory system, your mind is not going to remember how you used to do things. So I sent this out a little bit late because I didn't want to cancel because I knew that I had it. But it wasn't too late, but later than I normally send it. So luckily I did. It just came to me in the middle of the night where this was, because I was looking everywhere for it. So, but I did find it, and it did sell for the $11.99. This is another thing about going through your inventory. I moved everything from my storage unit. I got a storage unit at home, and as I was going through all of my bags to make sure everything was listed, this was not. Relisted it, and it sold for $17.10. I like to pick up Hot Wheels, and if they don't sell well individually, then I will lot them together. But this one did sell for the $9.49. And then lastly, we have this cute starfish. I don't pick up a lot of rubber wooden stamps anymore. They don't really seem to sell that well for me or that often. But I am getting into collaging, so a lot of them that I have, if they don't sell, I'll just convert them to my personal use. But this did sell for $5.99. So I didn't have any sales on Poshmark. I am experimenting with a new service for Poshmark. I'll talk about it later. I'm in the trial period right now. I'm not paying for it. So I will talk about those results in my next what sold, because I should be finished with the results by the end of this week. See if that helps with Poshmark sales. So far, only had like one sale, but that's kind of typical for Poshmark. But that is what sold for me this week and for the summer slowdowns. Let me know, how are your sales? Are they picking up? Are they the same? Are they slower than what you're thinking? Let me know in the comments below. And I hope everyone has a wonderful 4th. Thank you so much for joining me. Goodbye for now.